This is Maddie Kempner, Policy Advisor for NOFA Vermont, with an update on the growth of hemp as an agricultural crop in Vermont. On the first day of June 2018, farmers, entrepreneurs, researchers, policymakers, and representatives of the Vermont Agency of Agriculture, Food, and Markets celebrated the passage of Act 143, formerly H663, and the planting of more industrial hemp at a farm in Northfield, Vermont.
Well, it's really thrilling to see it happening, actually seed being put into the ground.
The agency's pretty excited about this legislation and what it'll do for Vermont farmers as far as providing diversity, the ability to be able to grow hemp, as well as be able to provide the future in this. It's pretty exciting to see the folks that are interested in diversifying and growing hemp.
The return of hemp to the soil is the next Silicon Valley, and it is also a ninth inning recovery for humanity.
Hemp has been grown across the globe for its fiber, oil, and seeds for thousands of years. It has been grown in the U.S. since the early 1700s and was the country's premier cash crop from 1750 through 1900. Eventually, hemp lost ground to cheaper products made of cotton, jute, and petroleum. While hemp and marijuana are both varieties of cannabis sativa, they're different in a number of ways. Hemp contains negligible amounts of tetrahydrocannabinol, or THC, the intoxicating substance in marijuana. Marijuana can contain up to 30% THC, while hemp contains less than 0.3%. Hemp also contains more cannabidiol, or CBD, a non-intoxicating compound with medical applications. The Controlled Substances Act of 1970, which criminalized the use of marijuana, did not distinguish between marijuana and hemp. The Controlled Substances Act put drugs into categories or schedules based on potential for abuse and accepted medical uses. Marijuana and hemp are considered Schedule I drugs, which are considered to have no currently accepted medical uses and a high potential for abuse. Schedule I is the same category as heroin, and a more restrictive category than Schedule II, which contains drugs like cocaine and methamphetamines. President Reagan signed the Anti-Drug Abuse Act in 1986, and the war on drugs began by reinstating mandatory minimum jail prison sentences and raising federal penalties for possession and distribution of marijuana.
The 80 years of hemp prohibition that's just ending now will be looked at as an anomalous blip. It'll be examined, in my view, as a wrong turn that humanity made for a couple of generations. Great countries make mistakes. Segregation was a mistake, and cannabis prohibition was our greatest mistake since segregation. Thank God it's ending now.
The legalization of industrial hemp, medical marijuana, and recreational marijuana has followed separate timelines over the past several decades. In 2012, Colorado allowed farmers to grow hemp, the first time the crop had legally been grown in the U.S. in half a century. By this time, sales of hemp products exceeded $580 million in the U.S. In recognition of this rapidly developing market, Vermont passed Act 84 in June of 2013, authorizing the cultivation and production of hemp in the state of Vermont, without waiting for the federal government to relax their regulations prohibiting the cultivation of hemp under the Controlled Substances Act. Within the Vermont law is the requirement that anyone wishing to grow hemp must register with the Secretary of Agriculture, Food, and Markets. This registry is intended to identify legitimate farmers wishing to grow hemp for fiber, food, forage, or as an oilseed crop. Researchers in Vermont have been attempting to develop best practices for growing hemp to share with farmers.
So I've been conducting research on industrial hemp for the last 2 growing seasons and heading into a 3rd growing season. And the goal of our research is, has several objectives really. The first objective, trying to understand how to best grow hemp in a far northern climate. It's a crop that's being reintroduced. It's not necessarily a new crop, but the knowledge of growing it and best practices, are 100, maybe even 200 years ago. So developing best agronomic practices for this crop is important so that farmers can produce a crop that's high yielding and high quality and meets the needs of people that want to purchase it. So that's one of the goals of our research. A secondary goal, of course, is to educate people about this crop, the benefits of the crop, the potential opportunities from an agricultural perspective, as well as industry and end user perspective. And then a third objective is to take the information that we gain and help farmers grow the crops successfully. So sharing everything that we learn and know with the farmers around us so that they can be successful too. If you're interested in growing hemp and you have some questions about the agronomic production of hemp, you can feel free to call the University of Vermont Extension or visit our website at www.uvm.edu/extension.
The distinction between hemp and marijuana was finally made on the federal level on February 7, 2014, when President Obama signed the 2014 Farm Bill into law. Section 7606 of the Act defines industrial hemp as distinct from marijuana and authorizes institutions of higher education and state departments of agriculture to regulate and conduct research and pilot programs. The passage of Act 143 in May of 2018 brings Vermont into conformance with Section 7606 of the Act by establishing a pilot program to research the growth, cultivation, and marketing of industrial hemp.
This latest bill that we passed this year, which was attached to H663, will probably make a huge difference because we're bringing Vermont state law into compliance with the Federal Farm Bill of 2014, and that's going to allow for a lot of other opportunities for farmers to obtain seed. We've also included a provision so that if one's hemp crop is a little bit high in THC, they can take it to a dispensary and have that THC removed.
There's a lot of states that have already become Section 7606 compliant. Actually, I think there's at least 10 or more where the Agency of Agriculture in that state already has this ability.
Vermont's hemp acreage is quadrupling this year. It's up to 2,000 acres cultivated, but it has to be the highest per capita acreage in the nation. By any standards, Vermont is now a major hemp state.
In March of 2018, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell introduced a bill at the federal level to legalize hemp as an agricultural crop and remove it from the list of controlled substances. If the Hemp Farming Act of 2018 passes, states will be allowed to set their own regulations around the cultivation of hemp. Now that there is an opportunity for Vermont farmers to grow hemp legally, farmers are taking the opportunity to diversify their farms and produce a wide variety of hemp products. These include hemp seed, hemp fiber, and CBD oil, a non-intoxicating compound with medical applications.
We have a lot of opportunity for hemp in Vermont. We have an incredible agricultural economy here already. But we still have farms that struggle, farms that, the dairy industry has been really challenging with low milk prices due to some oversupply and some other issues. And I think that hemp is a really incredible opportunity for farmers to be able to make some more money on their farm. It's a really good product. It's amazing how many things you can make from hemp, from the seed to the fiber, food, as well as botanicals like CBD.
Hemp is making it possible for the independent farmer to make a good living. The average farm size in Vermont for a hemp applicant this year is 5 acres. So I absolutely love that somebody on some relatively small acreage like this crop we're planting today has a real shot at making a lucrative living. It's hard to give one answer about where Vermonters might want to direct their energy, but the bottom line is it's not like other crops where you're at the mercy of the vicissitudes of commodities prices. On the other hand, you're not done when you harvest. You've got to market, design, package, and hustle, most of all hustle, your products. So whether or not you want to do something in the seed realm, the flower realm, or the fiber realm, it's not going to come to you. Even though the industry is growing, it's not an automatic win, and it's not a get-rich-quick scheme. It's about having a 5 to 10 year plan and preparing to work really, really hard for the payoff that you deserve and will get, I believe, if you stick with it.
We've been producing CBD products off and on for about 5 years now. So we do a full plant holistic extraction in a commercial kitchen in Waterbury. We extract everything ourselves. We do it into a coconut oil. We also have developed a water-soluble base, and in the future we hope to use the hemp seed that we're growing here behind us to extract our CBD into.
We have our Vermont Pharmacy Herbal Salve, as well as our activated CBD coconut oil. That means we decarb the CBD, so it's more effective and easier for the body to metabolize. It feels great to have so much support and just to have everybody be in it together.
I see it as an opportunity for farmers who might be struggling with low milk prices and having to improve water quality. I think hemp could play a real role in both of those issues. It will give another opportunity for farmers to grow a crop that could be in demand. I'm glad we did it now. I was beginning to think we were going to almost miss the boat on this. We know that in, I believe it's North Carolina, there's one farmer growing something like 25,000 acres of it. So the time is now, and I'm glad we did it.
Since the number of Vermont farms registered to grow hemp has more than doubled over the last year, some farmers are looking to distinguish their product by seeking organic certification.
Industrial hemp fiber and seed can be certified as organic like any other crop. Producers looking to certify their crops as organic with Vermont Organic Farmers must follow the guidelines established by the USDA's National Organic Program. This includes protecting the natural resources of their farms, including soil and water quality, encouraging and improving biodiversity, for example, creating habitat for wildlife and diversity of pollinators on the farm, and growing their product without the use of toxic pesticides and fertilizers. Organic hemp producers must also demonstrate that they are following the USDA's Statement of Principles on Industrial Hemp, which includes registration with their state's agricultural pilot program and documenting that THC levels of their crop remain below 0.3% from seeding through harvest. The National Organic Program currently allows organic certification of only industrial hemp, fiber, and seed. However, as the hemp industry grows and diversifies, it is possible that more products from hemp, like CBD oil, will be able to be certified. If you're interested in applying for organic certification, please call our office or contact our staff, and we can help you navigate these rules and regulations.
To keep up to date with this and other Vermont food system stories, consider becoming a member of NOFA Vermont. As a member, you'll experience the profound satisfaction of supporting local organic agriculture in Vermont by joining together with other farmers, gardeners, and food lovers in your community to grow a sustainable food system. You'll also gain access to NOFA Vermont's quarterly newsletters and invitations to educational and social events throughout the year. Also, don't forget to like us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel.